Peter Loshak. We are continuing our coverage of the 2012 Belmont Stakes. Right now we're going to talk with John Pricci, who's the executive editor at HorseRaceInsider.com, as well as a racing analyst for Fox Sports 980 AM. John, thanks for doing this call with us.
My pleasure, Peter. How are you today?
I'm good. All right. I'm excited for this Belmont Stakes, because it's both exciting when there's a Triple Crown contender, but I find that Belmont is one of the best, opportunities to find value in horse racing all year long.
Well, you better be tuned into your riders and your trainers, especially your riders. Old Big Sandy with those mile and a half circumference and sweeping turns. You really need to ride that racetrack inside out. And a lot of guys get fooled. You kind of wind up losing so much ground because the break of the turn. At most places, it's at the half-mile pole, but at Belmont Park, it's like the 5-furlong pole.
Right. So
you're going wide and around horses forever.
Right. All right. So before we start talking about I'll Have Another and all the horses, just say a few words about the idea of bred for the distance. Is that something that you factor in a lot when you're handicapping the Belmont? And how easy is it to tell which horses might have an advantage in that area?
Well, you can go a couple of different ways. Dr. Roman had the dosage methodology. You can look at the Tomlinson figures that are available. Or you can do it empirically. Actually, I use grist pass performances, and they have a statistic which includes the average winning distance of the sire and dam, and I find that quite useful. It seems to me that sires and dams who produce offspring that win at an average distance of over 7 furlongs will be horses that will tend to get a distance. Having said that, a mile and a half is the great unknown.
Yeah.
No one knows, and if anybody says they know, they're not being completely forthright with you.
All right. Well, let's see what you think about these horses. Not what you know, but what you think about these horses.
Okay.
Let's start with I'll Have Another. He will be the favorite. Do you think he should be the favorite?
Oh, there's no question. No question he should be the favorite. He certainly has all the tools. He has that dogged determination. He's got speed. He's got heart. I just can't believe how Mario Gutierrez has just handled this horse with such brilliance, and that goes back to the Santa Anita Derby where he showed just uncommon confidence.
Right. And
that confidence showed not only in Louisville, but especially at Pimlico, where everyone expected that, he would be stalking the lone speed Bodemeister, but no, he rode the race as it came up, showing complete confidence in his horse. And there were, there's a horse tagging along, Bodemeister on the turn, taking a run after him, Creative Cause. Those two Californians going 1-2 around the track. And here comes I'll Have Another. And what I loved about Gutierrez's move is that he positions himself outside of Went the Day Well at the time, who was considered one of the major threats in the race.
Right.
And he kind of had him hemmed in, but then when it was time to go, he made his move outside, clear of horses, dropped over on the fence to save a little ground for just a 16th or an eighth of a mile. I mean, it's very, very cool, cool as in temperament when you do something like that. Then at the top of the stretch, rather than worry about splitting those horses or waiting for them to straighten out and then tip wide, he went right outside to the 3.5 pass at the top of the lane, which is when I screamed in the press box to no one in particular, this kid thinks he's going to win. And sure enough, I mean, he just wore that horse down, and at the 8th pole, I don't think you'd find anybody at Pimlico or watching the race on television that Bodemeister was going to get beat on this day.
Wow, so it seems like you really think we're going to see a Triple Crown winner this year.
Well, he is the most probable winner, but don't ask me if I'm going to be betting on him, because, I'll be rooting for him with my heart. I mean, I've been in the game for 4 decades, and I would like to see it. I mean, I was fortunate enough to see all 3 live in the 1970s, but as we know, the last one was, 34 years ago.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind seeing another, before I have to check in, on the bucket list and what have you. He's got all the tools, Peter. He truly does. But, there are questions that you'd have to, by trade, I'm a handicapper, And as such, I use the Equiform figures set in New York. The sheet style numbers, I think they're the best. That's just me. That's my opinion, because they inform the final figure with pace. Another story for another day. But the point is that, this horse has developed. He hasn't overdeveloped from February to March, but he has been straightforward. And once again, he moved forward in the Preakness. It was a lifetime best. And 4 out of the last 5 Belmont horses that ran lifetime bests in the Preakness and or winning the Preakness all got beat at Belmont Park. And the other one ran second by a nose. So you can say 5 of the last 5 lost, coming off a sort of a sheep-style top.
Yeah.
In the Preakness Stakes. So I expect a slight regression here, and I expect a couple of other horses to move forward.